up, guys? Mika here, the Traveling Tarot, and you are listening to The Sound.
Come on, let go, baby. You know you wanna. Come on, let go. Don't you know it feels good? Come on, let go. You know you wanna. Come on, let go. Don't you know it feels good?
Glad that I caught that before I recorded the entire show with no sound. Hey guys, what's up? It is your girl Mika, back again, feeling so much better. I hope you guys did enjoy the energy, and the interview with the beautiful and talented Chelsea Hansen. She's so amazing, and the next time I get into town, I'm going to make sure that I go to one of her shows and give you guys a live performance from her and an in-person interview. But today, the show is jam-packed with another amazing, talented artist, my friend David and his band Black Market Carnage, just released a new album called Core Wars. And that he is going to be doing a song from that album, and we're going to be doing a little interview there as well. So, of course, we're going to be doing our live tarot Q&A. The only thing that I do ask is and if you are interested in booking a reading, then you can certainly do that. Everything that you need is going to be in the comments, in the description. And yeah, I printed out some emails for us to get things kicked off. But first, we're going to take a quick break. We're going to listen to David's song, The Elusive Lie, and then we'll come back for the tarot Q&A. So go ahead and get your questions ready, and if not, I'll jump right into the emails. All right, I'll see you guys in a sec.
Caught up away, I feel like I could break. I tried so hard, I pushed what I could take, so you could tell me it's alright. But it seems I just don't know what's right. Holes up and way, I feel like I could cry. And I feel like I do, but I try to hide inside my mind. So tell me if I'm astray. Don't pretend it's all okay. Imagine all that could have been, but a lonesome time was all that's left, and so you could tell me it's alright. But I don't appreciate the lie. Hold up and wait,
God damn it. Well, I fucked it up in the middle of the song, but that's okay because there's a live performance of that song coming up after this first Q&A portion. So it looks like until we get some questions going, I'm going to go ahead and start in with a couple of the emails that I printed out. Okay, so the first email, it says, the subject is, am I holding on too long? It says, Dear Mika, I'm torn between my heart and my common sense. I've been involved with someone for a while now, and while there's history and strong chemistry, the situation never really moves forward. Ooh, have we not all been there before? Promises are made, then delayed. I keep wondering if patience is a virtue here or if I'm just afraid to let go. How do I know that it's time to stop believing in potential and start believing in reality? Signed, Still Hoping in Seattle. And yeah, you know, it's interesting right now because those things that are not aligned with us anymore are going to become louder and louder. And so obviously, you know your situation more personally, but we're going to pull some cards to see exactly what spirit... Hey, thank you so much. I'm so sorry, David. But yeah, you guys can check out the full video on YouTube. And like I said, there's definitely a performance there. I accidentally hit the wrong button. But yes, so for Still Hoping in Seattle, I'm going to pull some cards for you. But yeah, you definitely know your situation and you know how long you've been holding on. So the most important thing for you to do right now is decide if you see yourself still continuing on and without the hope that you can change this person. Because if you can't, or if you're going into it thinking that you're going to need to change the person, then that could be your red flag right there telling you to go ahead and let go. You know what? I am going to use these love cards because they're so great for sort of your situation specifically and being very direct in that respect. Let me not get crazy with the hotkeys here because that's what happened with the video. God damn it. Okay, so Still Hoping. Let's go ahead and pull a card for you here. Drop it on down here to the spread. Get that out of the way. What do you want Still Hoping in Seattle to know and be aware of about their current situation in regards to their relationship? Oh, that came right out. Okay, this is actually quite promising, okay, because we have, he wants to rejoin your life and he doesn't quite know how. Something is holding him back, okay? So they do state that here that he's definitely aware that there's something holding him back and that he could be giving more to this situation. And we do have that showing up at the bottom of the deck with what you're feeling is true and sincere. It doesn't really matter what he is feeling, but it does show right here that he's definitely aware that there has been some type of a shift, and he's really in a state of questioning right now what that could be that is holding him back, okay? Let's get some clarification here with the tarot. What do you want Still Hoping to know in regards to what is holding this situation back? Okay, we do have that showing up with the King of Wands here. Okay. The word that they're using right now, and I don't even know if this would resonate with you right now, still hoping, is there's some sort of power struggle. Now, I don't know if the dynamic is between you and him, but with this showing up with the Seven of Swords at the bottom of the deck, it really feels like, yeah, there's some type of dynamic that he's dealing with that's has to do with the power struggle. Let me do a little bit more clarifying here. What else do you want them to know about this situation? Could also be that he is a Leo or looking to summon some type of strength, because with that Seven of Swords showing up, definitely can indicate that he is definitely dealing with something, some type of a power dynamic. Okay, and it could be causing him to question what he's doing, what he's been doing, and so that can show in other areas of his life. So he might be still, he might be focused on got a lot on his mind with whatever this is that's going on, but you're feeling it as him pulling back. Okay, it's not saying that it has anything to do with you. It just is saying that he is aware of it. Okay, he's aware that, but he doesn't exactly know how to. He doesn't exactly know how to express this, or no, sorry, right here. It doesn't really know. He doesn't exactly know what it is that is holding him back from making the change, but he is aware of it. So what else do you want them to know about this King of Wands? Yeah, and it's showing up, and you know what? This very much feels like you, and this is not gender specific. So if still hoping is, if your partner is a male or female, just please, switch the genders. But this is very much you being the Queen of Swords, because you've been feeling this dynamic. This is how you feel about your relationship, okay? And so you're unable to find that spark again. And the King of Wands can also represent that spark, because it is all about fire and passion. And so he wants to, that they're even saying that right now, as I tapped into the passion energy, is that, yeah, he's trying to reignite something, but there is some type of a dynamic that he's struggling with right now. And the reason why I say it was a power struggle is because the King of Wands is a leader, okay? And so this is you right now. And so they're saying the best way for you to get out of this Four of Cups energy is to tap into that Queen of Swords energy. I don't know if you have been watching my readings before, but I love to talk about moving through the queens. And the Queen of Swords, in my opinion, is the first queen that you need to embody before you can truly embody the other queens, because she's about taking that sword and getting clarity, period. She will not stand for things that cause confusion, okay? And so, if you're choosing to stay, Seattle, if you're choosing to stay in that situation, then my recommendation would be for you to redirect your focus on getting clarity on what you truly want, okay? Because even in a dynamic of infidelity or anything like that, not saying that that's what's going on, but if you're choosing to stay, then you have to move on. Okay? Otherwise, you're going to make you and everybody around you and the person that you're staying with fucking miserable. And that's the honest to goodness truth, okay? And the truth is we want to be happy while we're here. Relationships don't have to be. Even if you have kids, even if you've been married, even if you've been together for 20 years, they don't have to be. So if there is something that is not firing, then you have to decide, is this something I'm going to be able to put up with if it doesn't change? Because you can't go into it saying, oh, I'm going to change, and then you're going to be frustrated, okay? But we do have it showing up with temperance, okay? Because there is going to be, and they're actually saying, especially with temperance showing up, They're asking you to be a little bit patient with him, okay? So maybe they're saying, as I was saying that, to take this time to get clear on what you truly want. So this isn't go back there and flip the house and say fuck everything. This is go back and say, okay, let me turn this inward right now because I am feeling this way. Let me turn this inward because there's also the angel showing up in God's light with the temperance, and find out what I truly want and decide whether or not I can put up with the things that I don't want that I have been putting up with. Okay? So, in response to your question, which is, how do you know it's time to stop believing in potential and start believing in reality? It's going to be a very personal thing. And I would say the first step right now, they're really, really saying, especially with that temperance card showing up with these two, is maybe don't go flip the house yet. Maybe don't say fuck this relationship. It really depends on the level of disdain, quite honestly, because if it's just something, you guys have been together and it's just kind of one of those things that you guys need to get through, they're saying be patient with him because he does want to rejoin. He wants to re-enter this relationship completely, and he's working on trying to figure out what is holding him back. Okay, he definitely wants to. He's working on figuring out what's holding him back, and they're really saying what you're feeling is true and sincere, and it doesn't matter what he's feeling. So this is you right now feeling this way, and it makes sense that you'd feel this way, confirmed with this card. But this is who you need to embody right now so that you can decide the answer to that question. Is it time to stop believing? Am I sick of this shit? Am I going to put up with this if next year we're still doing this? That's your answer right there. Okay? But they did say be patient with him and turn inward first. Okay? So I hope that did help. I hope that did help. And let's go ahead and move on to another. Let's see if there's anybody in the chat yet. And let's go ahead and move on to the next email. Okay, this is actually perfect because, obviously we just started a new year and, love is one thing, but a lot of the times it's when you get really clear on your finances and on your career. And this email is asking, career crossroads or midlife panic. It says, hi Mika, I've worked hard for years and did everything I was supposed to do. But lately I feel restless and uninspired. Part of me wants to make a big change, maybe even start something completely new. While another part of me worries I'd be throwing away stability. Man, oh man, do I get that. And again, there's that crossroads again of who do I stick to where I was at, where it's comfortable, or who do I want to be from this moment on, and who do I intend to be from this moment on, okay? It says, is this intuition calling me forward? Absolutely. I would not be surprised if we saw the Judgment card or something like that, or even the Hierophant to some degree, or the Lovers. Calling me forward, or just fear disguised as boredom. Definitely. And it says signed conflicted in Colorado. Now it says, the truth is the boredom is from the conflict. Okay. Because it's definitely your intuition is pulling you forward no matter what, is always inspiring you to more, especially if it comes to who you want to be, who you see yourself as, all of those things, okay? But it starts with that Four of Cups energy that we just saw with Seattle. It's because you have to kind of sometimes get sick and tired of feeling a certain way before you start looking for answers. And so there are certain things in your life, especially in your career, if you've kind of gotten into a groove where you're going to be like, okay, do I leave the security of this and and be miserable, because what the calling to what you want is never going to stop? Or do I say, throw caution to the wind? Another card they just, as I was saying, that I see is the Fool. So I'm going to pull some career and finance cards, and we'll see if we can get some clear answers here for Colorado. And then it also sounds like you've put in the, it's kind of funny because one of my taglines is, I've paid my dues. So life is, look, we must live in the end, which means we must command things into being. This is not, oh, I'm an asshole, God got to do this, God's my, like Bob Proctor would say, my heavenly concierge. No, we're not saying that. We're just saying, look, if you truly believe you're receiving what you're asking, then you say it with conviction, which means there's a different level of energy going into what you're saying, okay? And so we now are being moved to this new inspiration or this new expansion of ourselves because we've put in the work. We put in those dues, and we're like, wait, I've put in all this hard work and I'm still not fulfilled? What the fuck? Like that's bullshit. Okay, let's just call a spade at 2:22 when I look at the clock, which means alignment. The universe agrees. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and pull a couple of these cards or see what they drop out, really one, and then I'll clarify. And I'm really seeing the magic seers for these as well. Okay, so let's see. Is this intuition calling me forward or just fear disguised as boredom? Let us see what Spirit wants you to know in regards to your career and money. What do you want Colorado to become aware of? Ooh. Okay, well, that makes sense too, especially, and so some of the definitions they have on here might not resonate, but really it's more about the image, and this is about cutting something out. Okay, it says business tools, needing more money, and that could also be maybe not needing more money, but wanting more money. And money could come, it could be more about you wanting or needing more fulfillment, okay? And this would be about cutting things out. But this responsibility shows up with sole provider. That's what they're saying there. My dogs are going crazy. So let's see what else they want you to know here. Yeah, and it says and it even shows up with the anchor, which does say things about, being stable for now, but it also says that you're feeling stuck. Okay, I'm going to pull one more of these cards to see if we can get a little bit deeper info on this, because it's on one degree, you're saying you're living well, you're comfortable, you may be the sole provider or the one who, the main provider, and you're needing more. It doesn't even have to be money. But we did have that show up with the anchor, so you're ready to spread your wings, or travel represents freedom or feeling free. And so I love that so much. First of all, let me just tell you that tarot is not bullshit. Did I not just shuffle these cards? You saw what jumped out. The anchor. The anchor, because we said what we said. But that's what I was going to say about travel is, I love this so much. What I was going to say about travel is that there's this, you're stable and you're living, you might even be living pretty well or comfortably, but comfortable is not fulfilling enough anymore. Okay, but we do have, it's showing up with the rose. And it just says that, yeah, there's just this security. I think they're really telling you to, okay, look, it's not telling you not to expand or to look into doing more, but it is telling you to kind of put your feelers out there and make sure that you're secure before you, like, don't just up and quit your job. Again, just like I said with the relationship, this is about you making sure that you're clear and secure about what you want before you jump into making some rash decision. Okay? And again, it is not telling you stay miserable and be miserable in your job. Your intuition is calling you forward in response to your question, okay? And it looks like boredom because you're not exactly sure which way to go, but you know that it's more than what it is here. So right now, they're saying don't move in this confusion. What you're going to want to do is take this time with that cutlery, which represents the sword of the Queen of Swords. This reading is actually quite similar to the one we just did for Seattle in regards to the relationship. It's the similar thing. You want to take this time to decide what tools you have, because we're showing up with business tools that you can use, and make sure that you're secure, especially clear on how that looks before you just up and burn the whole thing down. Okay, that's all they're saying. They're not saying not to, because as soon as I pick this deck up, we have it showing up with the Six of Pentacles. Okay, the Six of Pentacles is all about spiritual gifts or giving and receiving or ebbing and flowing. But what I'm finding especially is you want to make sure that there's a foundation, because what you don't want to do is burn the thing down and not have a clear plan, because that's going to put you back in this needing more money, this being stuck. Is going to put you back in this financial struggle here, or money blocks, or any of that stuff. Okay, so they just want to make sure they're not saying be scared, be afraid, or stay where you are. They're not saying that. They're just saying take some time to get clear on how that looks, and make sure that you build yourself a little bit of security so that when you do leap, you're not just there scared now and living off of a different energy. But they are telling you to do it. Okay, because that is what the Six of Pentacles represents. So give me some more information here for Colorado, and then I will see if we have anyone in the chat yet, and if not, we'll go ahead and jump into the interview. And it flowed so beautifully that, yeah, I'm just going to play the whole thing. So get yourself, a cup of coffee or a glass of wine wherever you are, or smoke a bowl, whatever you do, and sit back and enjoy, because it's really, really a good interview. What do you want? Wow. Okay, yeah, and I kind of knew and should have said that a page was going to show up, because there is this newness that you're seeking. And so while you're doing this defining, this discernment, you're going to want to do this from a place of what is now fulfilling. Okay, they say you've been living well. They say you've been pretty comfortable. They say that you've even achieved some level of success. The only success that you haven't really achieved is that deep fulfillment, which is now coming in, And so with that being said, yes, it is time to branch out. Yes, it is time to see what is going to fulfill you. But with this also being a page, they want you to know that it's taking those baby steps. That's why I say, don't go quit your job. With the world showing up, see what you have available that you can use that might be fulfilling. So take this time while you are living well and living stable and being comfortable to see what you like. And you might not even have to go and do it as a career, because if you somehow throw some type of new creativity in there, say you've always wanted to learn to play guitar or piano or write songs or whatever it is, create video games. get into that vibe and see if that doesn't soften what you're doing. And if it still feels unfulfilling, now you're going to see different avenues as you branch out, okay? Because there is a cycle of completion coming here. So your only work right now is to get clear on what that looks like before you jump ship. I'm going to get one more card for the Page of Cups. Ooh. I love it. Did I not just say get clear on it? We have the page and it goes to the 10 of Cups because the 10 is before the page, obviously. But the 10 is about completion. It fell out with the World, which is also about the completion. So this is what I say. Your only work right now there, my beautiful friend there in Colorado, is to get very clear on how this is going to look for you. Okay, so one of the things they're even saying right now that might soften you currently while you're in this cycle of decision and discernment and getting clarity is to take stock, spend more time in the vision, get clear on the vision, and really spend time there, because you'll be amazed at how fast it'll start showing up all around you, okay? And I ain't ever lied. Hey there, Culture. Hey, thank you so much for joining. We had the interview with David here, and he joined us here in the chat, everybody. You can check out the video there on YouTube. Hey, Tani, how are you? Thanks, everybody, for joining. Let's see. Culture. Okay, so you have a question, Culture, about your leasing office not working with you regarding the move you requested. Hey there, Tani. I hope everything is working out. You know, I was thinking about you actually before the show, so that's so cool that you showed up. Thank you so much. I hope everything is on the up and up in your situation, okay? So, Culture, let me pull some cards for you and see what's going on there, okay? I'm going to pull, ooh, that's pretty strong. I was like, I'm going to pull Angel of Abundance, but it looks like there's something going on there. They want you to trust. Thank you so much. Let's see what's going on with Culture's leasing office and the move. You drop it down. There we go. What do you want Culture to know regarding... excuse me. Remove. Okay, we have helpful people showing up. Let's see, what else do they want you to know? Now, they do say that there is something better, okay? And maybe there's a block there, but it feels like, a redirection there that feels more like a block. What else do you want her to know? We have it's up to you showing up as well. And there's some type of a peaceful resolution coming in. Okay, so I'm not sure exactly of your full big happy changes. Yeah, I'm not sure exactly of the full story, but they're saying for you to seek some type of help, or some type of help in the situation, or maybe there's like talk to them, find out exactly what's going on there and what the problem is, and then seek help. Or if there feels like some type of legal thing, again, I'm not a lawyer by any meaning of the word, nor would I be. But they're telling you to seek some type of help here, because there is a peaceful resolution, and there is a peaceful resolution as to why they're being difficult for you. So the first step is it's up to you. The first step is for you to talk directly to them, find out whatever it is. Okay, and if you have already done that, now it's time to seek help in that situation. Yes, 100%. You know, and especially if you're doing anything like doing it online, emailing. She was saying that she got to go down and show up in person. Yes, you always want to do that. And so talk directly to them, say, let me find out what the issue is because there's a way around it. But I can't, I need to know exactly what I need to do. And at that point, you'll know which direction to go or who you can look for help in or with. And you'll be able to come up with that peaceful resolution. I'm going to pull you a couple of tarot cards to see what else they might want you to know. And let me go ahead and use the Light Seer cards. Yeah, no matter what, go down there because you want them to, again, you're not going down there to mob on them. You're just going down there so that they can, you can feel their energy. Because it's really a lot more than what's being said. So you can really feel what's actually going on there. So you can be like, okay, are they giving me the runaround? Are they dicking me around? Whatever it is. Or is there really a resolution? But based on these cards, they're definitely saying there is a peaceful resolution there for sure. Yes, you always have to. You always have to. And let me tell you, a lot of the times these things show up. She's saying it makes sense. It's confusing when the rules are one thing for one person and totally different for another. And it's bullshit, especially in a business setting. Like that should be unacceptable. But they're also people. So it's like, go down there and be like, you want to borrow my hat? My hat gives me confidence. Just be like, look, this is my livelihood. I live here. I need to know what's going on. And I'm sure there's let's say it together now because we're not going to mob, peaceful resolution. And they are saying there is, like I said, with big happy changes showing up and helpful people, and it's up to you. But they definitely, if you have not gone down there, go down there in person for sure. What else do you want her to know about this situation? Oop, almost. What else do you want us to know about culture situation? Yep. And it boils right down to what you had said about, because the devil card showed up and you were saying you got to believe in yourself. You're going to have to face a fear, and this is where it's up to you comes into play. You're going to have to face that fear of, oh, what if they get mad? You're mad? Do you think that you deserve to be mad? Hell no. And let's see what they have at the bottom of the decks. Okay, so look, like I said, you're going to want to go down there because we have the King of Cups showing up at the bottom of the deck there. And so they're saying just go down there and speak. I know it's kind of frightening to go down there and confront people, but go down there and speak from like your heart and say, look, you're not going down there or doing anything unreasonable. The point is this needs to be resolved. I can't have to think about this after I leave here unless I need to take some action steps. But yeah, it's up to you. You'll be able to know exactly what to do, and they are saying there's a peaceful resolution on the horizon, and you don't even have to lose your shit. But you can speak with conviction, calmly, with the King of Cups, staying balanced, and saying, I need this resolved, please. This is my life. Okay, so I hope that helped you so much. I love you so much, Culture. I appreciate you so much when you show up, and even when you don't, I'm sending you the biggest love, the biggest hugs, and I'm here for you guys. So I'm going to take a quick break. We're going to jump into the interview, and then I'll be back for the second half of the Q&A. So get your questions ready, get your speakers up, and get ready to rock and roll with David from Black Market Carnage. All right, be back, guys. Love ya.
One like and subscribe today will give this sad, infamous puppy a big old smile. He'll go from this to this. You see this? That graph that I'm putting up? That graph is how Infamous Puppy could be. That could be us. Subscribe today.
Hold up and wait. I feel like I could cry all alone. I feel like I do, but I try to hide inside my mind. I try to run the elusive lie. Oh, thanks.
That was great.
I wasn't. Thanks. I wasn't sure if I should go for that high note at the end or just try to do a more subdued version.
Dude, I think you nailed it. I'm honestly blown away because I know we followed each other for a while, and
yeah,
I have seen your posts and I've definitely liked them, but I haven't gotten a chance to actually like physically interact with you. Wow, you're really good.
Yeah.
You're really good.
Thanks.
Are you guys still playing now, or are you guys playing out anywhere now?
Right now, I'm still playing as a one-man band, mostly just the occasional live acoustic performance online, and occasionally I'll hit up an open mic night if I can find one.
Wow.
But to really take this live, yeah.
We should collaborate, seriously, because
Totally.
that would be so cool. I think our styles would be a really cool fusion. But yeah, thank you again for that. That was amazing. I'm like literally blown away, and you were playing the hell out of that guitar, so
Yeah, thanks.
Pop your collar for that too. That was amazing.
Yeah, because like I was noticing, I was like noticing every mistake, and I noticed that I didn't quite reach the high note, but I tried for it anyways. But the emotion's there.
The emotion is the point, man. That's the whole
Yeah.
point of this podcast. That's the whole point
Yeah.
of music, really. And I know that sometimes we get lost in all the fauna and flora of trying to
Right,
get
'cause, like-
something to happen with it, but
I
we
know,
just want to
right? 'Cause,
create it.
Right, because like for me, I'm always hung up on every single imperfection on my performance. It's
Oh my
like,
God.
when I go to make the album, like I recorded like a whole bunch of takes until I got it down perfect.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And we are always the hardest on ourselves. Trust me.
Totally.
I totally get it.
Absolutely, 100% for sure.
Yeah. So, can you share a little bit about your musical journey with the listeners here and the people that are watching?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Well, I initially picked up guitar for the first time when I was 12, but I didn't really get good at it until I was like in my 20s, and I've been in and out of different bands, but like none of them lasted. And eventually, I came to the conclusion that if I want this to work, I just got to take full control over everything, because like all of them fell apart or disbanded before we could even make an album. So it's like, if I want this done, I gotta be the entire band.
Isn't it exhausting?
I'll find people
though?
to do live later.
Yeah, no, I get
Yeah.
that. It's fucking exhausting though, seriously. Sometimes it can be a really
Shit,
lonely
yeah.
along that journey, but I mean, it also gives us the balls we need to say, fuck it, I'm gonna do it myself anyway.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna do it. I
Pretty
love
much.
it. I love that because our it's funny, our journeys are kind of, musically especially, are kind of
Yeah.
behind in that respect. It was like you're in and out of these bands, you try to collaborate with people,
Yeah.
but there's just not really
6
much
different
connection
bands.
there. Yeah, and then it's just like
6
what?
of them.
If I want it to happen, I'm just gonna learn how to do this, and
Yeah.
just make it happen. Yeah, totally. I love that so much. So what would you say? Like, give us a little peek into your creative process. What inspires your lyrics or your melodies, or do they just kind of come?
Let's see. Well, I gotta wait for the inspiration to come, because if I try to force it, nothing's gonna show up, or what comes out is going to be really bad.
Crap.
But
Right. No. I
for
get that
me,
too.
yeah. Like I've tried to force it, and it's come out as complete another shit. So it's like I gotta like really be inspired. But like usually personal stuff inspires a lot of these, but sometimes there's been so much personal overload that I can't even write because there's too much at once. So I like really got to sit down and focus on it. But like for Core Wars, the current album that's out, there's like 12 songs on it. 11 of them are about women. One of them, I can't even begin to tell you what it's about because I don't even know. I just started smattering lyrics on a piece of paper and just decided to see where it went. And like I thought I was going to make up some sort of cool story behind it, but like there's nothing that I could say that would be truthful. other than this. So
Hey, that's
also,
where
we're at.
Dude, that's also your spirit speaking. That's like I said, the whole point of this is because sometimes it doesn't make sense when it comes out, and you're just like, okay, this is what it is. In fact, even the readings that I do, it's gibberish until I read it. I watch it back, and I'm like, oh shit.
Right, because you're spiritual, and so am I. Except you can actually do readings. I haven't gotten to that level yet.
Oh, you're there, man. Trust me. If you're channeling any type of lyrics or any type of creativity, that's spirit. It comes out however it comes out individually for people. So, I mean, I'm so excited to get to actually meet you. You're a super cool dude, and you really are amazingly talented. Do you have any like rituals or practices that help you get into the flow?
Usually, like if something comes out in my thoughts, or if the inspiration comes, I like open up my phone and open up voice notes, and I'll either hum it or sing it, or if I have my guitar on hand and it's just a riff but no lyrics, I'll just strum it out and see if I can get it close. Even if it's just like making a quick little video. It's just something so that I have the idea down before I forget it.
Absolutely. Thank God for Google Keep and voice notes. Seriously. Some of
right?
that stuff is, turned into shit, which is really very nice.
Hell yeah.
Do you have any type of message that you hope people take away from your music? Or, I mean, because a lot of the times it can just be about, hey, I just want these people to have fun when they listen to it. I want, it doesn't have to really change anybody's life either. What's your take on that?
I think it starts off with me getting out emotions that I need to purge. So that's the initial force behind it. But I always hope that it makes someone's life better in some sort of way. And like I thought about, I struggled back and forth between, do I divulge the exact story that I wrote the song about, or do I just let people figure out their own interpretation? Because if I tell them mine, it might ruin it for them.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That's the other angle of the creative process, is that they are supposed to receive it wherever they are. So it does sometimes. Right. In fact, I think most artists kind of say that same thing, where they, obviously they were inspired to write it, but they don't want to give somebody a meaning. It's supposed to move you to that meaning, for sure. Especially
because
where whatever you're going through, it's supposed to meet you right there. And I think that's really cool. And just even the chord progressions that you were using, and some of the fingerings and things that you were doing, really, you could feel the emotion in that stuff.
Yeah.
That is so beautiful. That's the point of all of this, really. Ultimately, if you strip away the let's be famous, the trying to, get people to like it, it's really to get out those emotions. And I think that was the perfect, most beautiful answer for you for you to answer that question.
Exactly.
So would you say that when you're feeling overwhelmed, you might turn to music, or does that kind of block the creative process?
I think it definitely helps a lot, because if I'm going through something, music is one of these things that's like a savior, because I was never really religious, but music is like that thing. Like Rob Flynn from Machine Head said the same thing when he wrote Darkness Within, that it's about how music is a savior, and I kind of feel the same way about it. Yeah, and if I'm going through something rough, like hearing someone else's art that was made of going through the exact same thing, or at least what I think is the exact same thing, or something close to it, that helps, because I don't feel like I'm alone anymore. And I'm hoping that what I do is doing the same thing for someone else. Like, I haven't gotten any feedback yet to tell me that it has, but if I heard that it was, that would be awesome. That'd be fucking awesome.
Well, and that's the thing that we're even learning right now, even in this time of awakening, is that, yes, we want people to hear it. We want it to blow the fuck up. Let's not lie. I mean, duh. But it's not about that. It's like, it would be great if it did speak to somebody, or lots, or the masses.
Yeah.
But I think it's really great that we're doing it anyway. I think we're inspired to just create anyway. And so what really makes that confusion or that muddled approach is when it's like, oh, well, people aren't responding to it. So now, am I shit? Do I suck? That's when that doubt starts creeping in, and you're just like,
oh yes. And then I've actually had the experience when I put up a sponsored ad to promote my music, because I need to get it into ears. there's always going to be some people hating on it. Even when I use the album tracks that have perfect performances on them, there's always going to be people posting really mean and nasty comments on it.
Oh, that's the first thing that you have to get over. Seriously, because people are really a trip when they can talk behind their screens, and that's the
right. And pretty much
nobody's gonna come up to you and say you fucking suck. I hate what you do.
But people are going to post it in the comments on my sponsored ads.
Yeah, totally. And it's just like, okay, well, whatever. And that's, again, you have to be so unapologetically you that even though there's a tingle of burn there, a little bit, but you can't let it move
Always.
you. Yeah, you can't let it move you. You have to.
And I think every new artist goes through this.
Yeah, and it toughens your skin up because you don't. I mean, look, Beyonce has haters. Even now, the Kardashians have haters. In
like
fact,
every artist
haters,
has them.
Yeah, those haters make them more famous because it's only about the attention.
There's no such thing as universal appeal.
Yeah,
so,
absolutely. Especially
no matter what you do or how good you are at it, there's going to be someone who doesn't like it.
Absolutely, and maybe even and what I've come to understand is that it's not about you. It is about them being pissed that you're doing something they're not. So they need to find something to hate on, but we don't even go there because we're not even going to give haters any airtime. So y'all.
Right, fuck them.
Yeah. So what song do you feel of yours is closest to your soul? I mean, that you feel like, man, it almost cuts you to sing it sometimes because it feels so visceral.
Well, on Core Wars, definitely it would be the final track on Core Wars, Trepanation of Our Dissolution, because I had to record the vocals through punch-ins because I'd get choked up in the booth doing it because those lyrics were like, they took me back to that place.
Yeah.
And so it's like, I'm wondering, aside from the fact that it's a 9-minute song and it's pretty technically difficult, and there's some parts where I sing high notes that my voice doesn't naturally want to go, I had to pound a whole bunch of tea to do it. But, it's like, there's so much emotion behind it, and the situation was like such a gut wrencher that it's like, how am I going to do this live and not like tear up in front of people?
Yeah. But honestly, that even speaks to people. People are really responsive to real emotion. That, again, the point of music is to move you in some way, whether it's to dance, to cry, to reminisce, something. So I think and they can really feel that in your delivery because it really does come from that real place. And I think that's so beautiful. It is the point. It really is. So I love that. What's the name of the song again so that we can look out for it? Maybe y'all will play it on a future show.
Trepanation of Our Dissolution.
Okay, cool. Yeah, because even with the song that you just did, it was, like I said, I could really feel the heart.
Yeah, because like I went for a hard one to start it off with, which I don't know if that was the best thing to do, but we certainly got it. And
dude, I think you nailed it. So just give yourself a break. Pat yourself on the back. Pop your collar. You got this. Okay, seriously, you're killing it. Like I said, I'm blown away. Seriously. So, who would you collaborate with, living or past, and why?
Fuck, a whole bunch of them. But I mean, like, if I were to name like several, like top 3, Rob Flynn from Machine Head, because he seems like a great guy and he says a lot of things I can relate to. Plus, his music is awesome. I would say Matt Holt from Nothing Face, who is no longer with us, because like he is like my #1 influence as a vocalist. Like, and because we have similar voice types, or he had a similar voice type to mine, I was able to go off of him and be like, listen to him and be like, hey, I can sing. And finally, I would say, although he's not particularly well known yet, Beazle Levante, who is from Sarasota, Florida. He does his own stuff. He's been in several different bands like Divine, and Chronologic, but now he's sort of doing his own thing, which he calls Monkey Stick. And he's both rock, metal, and spiritual all at once, which is an interesting combination.
That is, actually. It's interesting that you say that, because a lot of that, like I was watching a network one time, and there was a lot of that, like, Jesus Christ music, but it was like speed metal. It was like, rah, 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 and it was like, okay, hey, however it comes out. But the things, like, if you listen to what they're saying, it was all about, spirituality and Jesus and things like that. So, so then you would say that, and again, outside of it coming from your spirit, you would say that music is a very spiritual thing for you. It's
definitely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Do you meditate, or what are some of the spiritual practices that you do just to even get aligned with whatever you're even fucking doing that day,
like,
along your purpose?
Like, I have done meditation before, and I would love to get back into it again. I've been trying to get back to it again. I'm on the autism spectrum, and I have a whole bunch of loud and sometimes terrifying, intrusive thoughts that make it really difficult to do it. And I used to be able to do it before, but lately the thoughts have been so frequent and noisy that it's been harder and harder to focus and do it.
For sure. And you know, the one thing I like to say, especially even in my readings, is meditation is playing music. Meditation is walking. It is dancing.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be just sitting there. So even if you're in another place while you're washing the dishes, that's a very meditative state. So whatever gets you there, you don't have to go to the prayer closet.
Yeah.
So even playing music, that is a form of meditation. You are doing it already. So just like I said, you're on the right track, buddy. Seriously.
Well, thanks.
So what advice would you give to any other creatives who might have some type of block, or who might just kind of feel like they're in a loop of their own kind of shit?
Man, that's a tough one because I struggle with that all the time myself.
Well, how do you get out of it? I mean, do you play music? Do you smoke a bowl? I mean,
sometimes I'll just go for it and play music. Other times it'll be so noisy that I just have to just relax and let it dissipate before I can even do anything.
So you understand the power of surrender for sure, then.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
although it's not always the good kind, but you know.
Well, look, whatever gets you there, we are living moment by moment.
Yeah.
If you can get through this moment, you're fucking winning. Celebrate each win, which is one step at a time. Seriously, because that's what causes the stress, is not being able to see the clear picture and then wondering how I'm going to get this done that I'm trying to get done. Instead of just saying, okay, I'm making this first step, that's enough for this moment.
Definitely.
So
Definitely.
What's next for you spiritually or musically?
Well, musically, I have a second album planned. I've been dealing with writer's block on my lyrics for the past, several years now, which is odd because I have a lot of personal baggage I could be writing about, but nothing's coming. So as soon as that goes away, I'm working on album number 2. Plus, I was going to start a band with a friend of mine, although he moved back to his home state, so we may have to do it by mail or through the internet.
Virtually, yeah.
And
Which
then,
is very possible. It's very possible. You can do it.
Yeah, for sure. And then spiritually, I've been trying to get back into the meditative stuff. Like I've been reading Wayne Dyer and Bruce Moen and listening to some of the Bruce Moen meditative exercises, trying to see if I can get myself to be able to focus as well as I could before again. Yeah. It's going to take a little bit of an effort, but the end result is going to be worth it. So it's worth doing.
Absolutely. And honestly, even just a few minutes of it helps. So even if you don't think, oh man, I didn't sit here for 30 minutes, take what you can get. Celebrate those little wins because they become bigger. That's momentum building for you.
Definitely.
Yeah, I love that so much. So again, I'm so thankful that, you did this for me. I would love to also play that song that you mentioned on either on this show or later. We'll see, but if that's okay, I'll play some more of your music.
Yeah, you're welcome to play anything from my album on your show
if you want to.
That
so much. So is there anything before I let you go that I can plug, promote? How can people find you? This is your time to say to sell yourself, but not in the bad way.
Right. So I have a bunch of Black Market Carnage accounts all throughout the internet. So I have Black Market Carnage _official on Instagram if you want to follow my music. I have a Black Market Carnage YouTube page where there's 2 music videos up now, and more stuff is going to come soon. I've got a Black Market Carnage Facebook page that I put up that people can follow as well. And although there's no shows at the moment because I don't have a full live band yet, I'm working on that as well. And the other project that I was working on, my friend does not have a name yet, but I will post stuff on the Black Market Carnage page if anything comes of that as well. So look out for that. And check out.
Oh, I'm sorry. Can they buy your music anyplace?
Yeah, the album is called Core Wars.
Okay.
The album is called Core Wars. It's on iTunes, Amazon, and Bandcamp. Buying it on Apple gives you the bonus that you can sync it to all your Apple devices, but buying it on Bandcamp will also download all the liner notes that would have showed up if it were available as a physical product. And I initially wanted to release physical media, but of course, due to minimum quantity orders and the fact that the sales have not quite reached the level where I think it was a worthwhile investment, it just didn't happen. But it might happen one day as a limited edition run, so
Yeah,
look out for that
absolutely.
too.
Look, it's in the works right now. Again, that's the other thing I'm learning.
Yeah.
Just because it's not happening right now doesn't mean it's not going to happen. There are other things happening that you may not be aware of yet, for sure.
Hell yeah.
For sure. So I love this so much. And again, thank you. Is there anything else you want to say before I let you go? And I would love to invite you on the show again and to do another song.
I would love to do that.
Yeah, I think that'd be really cool. And I was damn serious about the collaboration.
Yeah.
We've never actually connected like this. So
I would love to do this. So,
there's a reason for that.
I'm down to collaborate as well.
I'll do backgrounds, I'll do foregrounds, I'll do duets, whatever you want.
That would actually be really cool because,
Yeah.
initially I had thought it might be cool to have some female vocals duetting with mine on a couple of the tracks on Core Wars, but it didn't happen. Like, if
Maybe
one of
for
them
this
was
next album.
yeah, because like one was going to be on Drown Together, but I just deleted those parts, and then on Trepanation, I just used one of the background tracks and decided to just try to sound as much like a woman as I could in unison with my real voice, so that
Very nice.
in a mix you can't really tell.
Dude, but it worked, right?
Yeah.
See?
It's
There's
very
always a way.
subtle, but it's all me.
Well, I'd be totally
Yeah.
down, anytime. And like I said,
I love that.
thank you so much. This is David from Black Market Carnage. He's got
Yeah, it's my
his
pleasure.
album out, Core Wars, and we will see you again on the next show. Thank you
Thank
so
you for
much.
having me.
I appreciate you, man. Have a good one. Okay?
Thank you for having me. It's my pleasure. You too.
Love you. Peace.
Love you.
Dude, pretty cool, right? I just loved that interview so much when I was editing it. I was like, you know what? I'm going to play the whole damn thing. I love that guy, and I love his dedication. I love the way he plays. I love the sound of his voice, and I feel very blessed to have been able to speak with him on the show, and I definitely would love to have you on again, David, anytime. And yeah, so let me jump through the comments here and see if there's anything here. If not, I'll jump into an email. Oh, no worries, Tani. Thank you so much for even jumping in. I really appreciate you guys so much. It really means so much to me. And let's see, Culture was at my son during the break. Yes, as you can see, he gets his silliness from me. We're actually we make music together. We kind of do all kinds of stuff together. So if you did check out his channel, you might see a familiar face or 20. Let's see. Black Market Carnage. Oh, David weighs in and he says, Mindless Eyes is the song on the album. Let me see if you guys can hear me. He says, Mindless Eyes is the song on the album that I have no idea what it's about despite writing it. Ah, okay. So check out the album, you guys. It's Core Wars. The link is going to be in the description so that you guys can pick it up. And I think during the interview, as I recall, he says if you get it on Bandcamp, it comes with the lining notes as if it were actually a CD, so that might be a better deal for you guys if you're into that. The next comment says, I call the hate posters miserable fascists because it seems that tendency really glorifies being miserable to other people for its own sake. And I think there are a lot of miserable bots as well. Yeah, and I mean, it's unfortunate, but at some point you kind of start to be like, well, it kind of shows me where you're at, and so I get it. I've been there before. I've been fucked the world before too, and I realized it wasn't getting me anywhere. But I wasn't ever anyone who attacked other people because that's just straight bullshit. I've drank Haterade. I'm not going to say I haven't drank Haterade, okay? But I will never attack another person for no reason. That's completely crazy. But that's just me. Yes, David, thank you again. That was such a great interview. And yeah, definitely let me know when you're releasing anything new. That would be another way to connect. And I finally have my shit together about the setup and the audio and stuff, because we actually filmed that back in July or back in the summertime. And I was just kind of starting my setup with doing interviews like that way with music. And I would love to have you back on. Or if you have any videos of you doing anything live, I can always drop that in as well. So thank you guys so much. I'm going to jump into some more, for sure. I'm going to jump into some more questions. So feel free to jump in, guys. I'm going to answer. Let's jump into the next email. Oh, say, have you ever heard of Carolyn Casey? Oh, no. Who's that? Oh, okay. Is she accessible, or is it someone that would be like, fuck you, talk to my publicist? my fee is like $5,000. Oh, you know what? Why don't you shoot me the link? Because I would be interested. Now, one of the things that I will say, please don't ever send me anything political. I don't really give a fuck. And I know that it's crazy for a person to say that, but I really don't. I can find it if I need to see it, okay? But if it's something that you think would be valuable in the tone of me, send it on over. Because I'm always open to hearing cool things, and I would love to have somebody like that on the show. Bless everybody's heart. All right, so let me jump into the next email here, and let's get the energies and the vibes going. If you guys have any questions, just go ahead and jump in. So the last question, we were talking to Colorado about their career, and it was saying, definitely take that leap, but don't burn the house down until you have a clear plan, okay? Just to wrap that up in a sentence. Okay, we have another relationship one, and it's one that I think a lot of people could relate to. The subject is, why do I keep repeating the same relationship? It says, Dear Mika, I seem to attract the same type of partner over and over again. Different names, same outcome. Emotionally unavailable, inconsistent, and somehow I still end up invested. I've done the work, gone to therapy, and yet here I am again. What lesson am I missing, and how do I finally break this cycle? Signed, Deja Vu in Dallas. You know what? Honestly, I had, when I was reading, when I was reading a part of this, I saw the Cupid's Arrow Oracle. So I'm going to start with that just to see if we can get some type of clarity on the direction. And then they're saying still use the magic seers. But when I pick this up, we have realignment showing up, okay? So there is, right now, when you find that you're continuously attracting the same person, the same job, the same the same friend, the same experience even, it is an ask for you to check what you are expecting or what you're exuding, because that is only responding to you. That is letting you know, this is how I really feel about something. Because I can even say all day that I don't care about so-and-so. Let him show up again. Let her show up again. As soon as they show up, you're sliding in their DMs. Or you're texting and smiling at the park or something. So it's like you have to be very clear, because what you're getting is responding to what you really mean, not what you're saying. Okay, and that's really the most thing we want to distinguish and get very clear on, because the universe is hearing what you mean, not what you say. Okay, so let's see look, I don't think there's anything that you're missing. It could be something, and what I'm picturing here is like the Two of Swords, something that you're choosing not to see, because that would bring on the Three of Swords, which is kind of that pain and pain. We don't like the Three of Swords most of the time. I don't even know what a positive spin could be outside of healing, and it depends on the cards that it's around. Okay, but let's go ahead and see why they had me pick the Cupid's Arrow Oracle cards. What would you like Dallas to know about the situation? Ooh. Okay. There is some type of realignment happening, especially because we had realignment showing up with when I picked up this deck, and it shows up with patience. Manifestations are on the way. So in the meantime, right now, and I know, because that's what I was about to say, is it's time to break the cycle by stopping it in its tracks. Right now, you're seeing that same pattern because you're exuding something that needs to be tweaked a little bit. Okay? And so it's responding to you, and that's what that whole tirade was before I got sidetracked. It's responding to you, so it's saying, it's letting you know you're still exuding this, even in terms of abundance. You're still exuding this if you're still getting broke energy. And it's not like to scare you, but it's to let you know, okay, look, something in your perspective needs to be tweaked. And so this is why they would show up with retreat. We have retreat showing up saying, take some time alone and reflect on the current and past situations and start to look towards seeing something a little more clearly. We'll get into the tarot here, but they do want you to know that just to be patient with yourself while you're doing this. Okay, there's some things that are coming into being right now, and it's going to require you to be more patient with yourself, but also to spend some time alone and get clear on what's going on, and again, get clear. Let's see exactly why they want me to go ahead and use the Magic Seers, because we do have that showing up with the Ace of Cups. That's going to bring in this new fulfillment, or this new creative energy that's going to kind of push those manifestations along, if you will. But right now, you're continuously, and if you're continuously getting the same thing, then you're continuously flowing the same energy, and there's just no two ways about it, period. If you continue to get broke response from the universe, you're still exuding something in your energy. If you continue to get broke response from love, money, whatever, to lack of confidence, whatever, from the universe, you're still getting that. You're still getting that, like, because you're exuding that energy. So your only work under those circumstances is to say, let me work on healing that within, okay? And again, that's when that newness comes in, and it's all around you. That's the reason why it's overflowing. They want you to know that it is all around you, but you might be kind of like on that hamster wheel of you're saying, like, you keep meeting the same type of people. You're on that hamster wheel of that's because you're going into it in a weird way, expecting it to turn out that way. Okay? What else do you want them to know in regards to patience and just this retreat and whatever else they need to know in regards to their situation? Because it's 100% about the energy you're exuding, the energy you're expecting. You might even be going into, and they are saying that you might even be going into it looking for those things, and so you find them and you're blown away. It's that confirmation. It's like expecting this to happen so that when it does, you could say, see? See, this always happens. And then the universe is only responding to you. And so if you're putting that energy out there, you're getting that same energy back. Okay, so let's see what they say and what else they want us to know. Ooh. Yeah, I think I really say they're being goddamn clear with this being the Hanged Man. I don't know what else they want. I mean, look. How much clearer can they make it? Except, this is why I love tarot. What shows up at the bottom of the deck? And what is he doing? He's retreating, which is what we got right here. Okay? Okay, we got retreat at the bottoms of the deck. We got patience and the hanged man as the clarifiers. Okay? I don't really think there's much more that needs to be said in regards to what needs to happen. It's time to spend some time alone. And again, when I moved that, I did see the Lovers, and that falls right in line with you getting clear and reflecting on your current values and what you now are going to move into, because that is when the Wheel of Fortune starts to turn in your favor. But yeah, I feel like every single card here says, sit down for a minute, take a little bit of a retreat, surrender from even thinking about this. Definitely take yourself off the market for a minute. Get clear on who the next person is, because if you're doing it, again, they're inspiring me to say this. I'm not saying this is what you're doing, but if you're doing it just to be out there dating, then it's time. Then you're going to keep meeting the same people. Okay? So, yeah. I'm sending you so much love there, Dallas, because it's so frustrating to, continuously get the same response, and then you realize it's because you really are still exuding something that you thought you may have healed from, or something that you thought you may have moved on from. Okay? So let's see if we have any more questions. Let's see. Oh, hey, Heba. Hello. Hello, hello. How was your trip? I was thinking about you fairly recently. I hope that you had so much fun, actually. I'm so happy to hear from you. Do you have a question? How was it? Well, I was playing my favorite gin rummy game, and the person's name was Heba, and I was like, oh, I hope she's having a good time. Excuse me. Ooh. How is it? Is it cool? Is it an amazing experience? Is it everything that you hope for and more? Because as soon as I pick this up, we have Judgment. So it sounds like you might be out there partying in Qatar. Oh, yeah. Well, you know what? As with any new experience, it could very well just be to let you see the real picture of it as well, so that you don't go in there thinking you're just going to be floating on a cloud. You could be, but you need to also be prepared for the very real world contrasts that are also there to help you grow. Yeah, see, I like that. That's what I'm talking about. That's so cool. And you got to spend time, you're getting to spend time with your family. That's such a cool experience. Overall, I'm sure you're having a wonderful time. Because yeah, this Judgment card is really standing out. Not only just that it's this new person emerging, but playing the horn. Like, these people are partying to the music, to be honest. Ooh, I love that. I love music so much. Are you getting to sing? I know that you're a singer too. Okay, you want to know if you're meant to stay there? Okay. Are you thinking of staying, like, live there, or you mean stay a little bit longer, just so that I can understand a little bit more about the context of what's being asked? Let's see, how about... I always love these cards for you, and I'm like, I know she thinks I'm just doing it on purpose, but they always show me these cards because these cards are very much about expansion. So I will love to start with C. Ah, I get it. I understand. So you're just wondering if you should be staying there. Is there more opportunity there? What do you want people to know about her current trip situation? Okay, so it does show up with the... It shows up with the 7th house, and it shows up with the 11th house. The first one says, make some type of commitment, which right now you're in the in-between, which is why it feels very confusing, okay? But it does say, look to some type of community. Have you given it... I mean, like, from a practical level, do you feel there's more opportunity there? Or do you feel there's more opportunity in terms of, like, jobs or school or whatever you do to survive? That's all about... That's literally about alignment. It's all about alignment. And it says do it with passion. I think, again, I don't know your situation or even much about, areas like the Middle East in terms of the economics and things like that. I just don't, because I don't follow the news or anything like that. But I love you guys, everybody. But they are saying, this could be your old fear of that security of where you were and knowing. And I think it's funny because I think either that was one of the earlier questions or that I said something like that, but it was the energy of this reading that it could be that fear coming up of, oh my God, this is something new. I'll have to start something new. I'll have to figure something out. And that could be rearing its ugly head right now. Yeah, we even have the Knight of Wands showing up with that do it with passion. And that's just when I picked up this deck. But it's just, I think it's one of the most frustrating things, and that's even the same with me, because, and I'll just tell you a quick little story just to get you to understand that, I thought that, okay, I've been through the hardships. It's time for me to hit this ground running. And literally the perfect job opportunity showed up for me. And I was like, you know what, this would be perfect. I get to travel. I get to do this. I get to do that. And I even interviewed. I was just like, oh, I got this. Whenever they call me Monday, I better get ready. Let me get my little ukulele so I can travel light. And I didn't get the job. And I was devastated. And I realized, and it was crazy because then it started to bring up other things where I was like, well, how come this doesn't work out? How come this doesn't work out? And so the energy for like half a day was like me trying to get out of this spiral of nothing ever works out for me. It's really been nice country, but there's nothing I'm liking about it. Okay. Oh. Well, if you know that you're not liking it, then that's your answer right there. But whatever it is, even if you do go back to your, if you go back to Jordan, and by the way, my son's name is Jordan. I love that so much. So that's very cool, and I'm all for Jordan. whatever it is, they're saying you need to join or build some type of community and make a commitment to something. Okay, and whatever it is, make sure that it sparks something in you. I know we've been talking for a little while, and if it's the tarot, and trust me, I get this all the time because I do a lot of different things, and they're like, okay, make a commitment to one thing and follow through. And remember, that was what the whole year is going to be about, is making sure that whatever it is we do, we make the commitment to this thing and see it through, because having a bunch of little things going on can cause that confusion. But let's see what else they say. What else do you want them to know about making this commitment? Oh, yeah. And we have the Temperance card showing up, and you know, it's definitely about rebalancing, but also it feels like there's that one foot stuck in what I really want to do and one foot stuck in what I feel I have to do. Oh my God, I hadn't even read your comment yet. That's so crazy. I love you guys, man. I never ever get tired of it. Because I was literally saying, it feels like this Temperance card is you have this kind of foot in what you really want to do in this calling, but then you're stuck with something that you actually feel you have to do or that you're obligated to do. Okay, and it shows up with the Emperor, which would make sense why you said that you feel that pressure by your family, you know, because there's some type of a figure that could be, and you know, for lack of a better expression, like lording over you or saying you must do things this certain way. And this is the reason why also in the beginning of this, I was saying it might feel like chaotic, because you would, when my mom, she was kind of overbearing, you know, God rest her soul now, but she was kind of overbearing when I was younger. And I was always go with my mom, whatever she said, go with. And then when I finally was ready to break free, it was messy. Like I had to do it with brute force kind of thing, you know, and unfortunately it is a little bit messy. And so that could also be making you less, less acceptable to being like, okay, well, maybe there is something here for me. Maybe you're just like, okay, well, this, and this would be horrible. And I'd also have to try to figure out what I could do here. So maybe you're not giving it enough of a chance. And again, use your intuition, obviously, but this definitely feels like that balance of I'm trying to figure out how I can do what I want and still do what I'm supposed to do. And unfortunately, oh, I know. No, I get it. And honestly, even in in this spiritual game, it's a trip, because it becomes difficult to say, hey, do I deal with this every month, got to pay this rent on the 1st, or do I live in this world of I get to live and create content and just have fun and go be free? It's kind of that same push-pull. Yeah, and you know what? It's interesting because one of the things I had to come to terms, because she's saying that the mom wants them to have a actual job, and one of the things we want to come to terms with, especially with also Temperance showing up, because they're also saying Temperance represents balancing that spirituality and practicality. So if it's causing some type of a strain, then it's hard for you to balance or even receive clearly, which is why you might even be doubting what you're receiving now, instead of like making a commitment to, you know, because we did make a commitment down here. Instead of making a commitment to, okay, this is what it's going to be. This is the direction I know I want to go. And it doesn't have to be the end all, but it's the focus for right now. Yeah, they're going to be... Oh, definitely. Said even the ants are all in the business. You know, it makes sense, especially probably even reporting back to your mom. That's the thing. And so there's going to be because you're feeling that fire. They're even saying that, you're feeling that fire. You're ready to break free, but there's still that barrier of all of the things that you might have to fight through. And again, I'm not going and saying burn the whole house down, but decide what it is you're going to focus on and just start slowly taking those steps. And the Emperor also represents standing firm and regaining control and taking control of your life and your situation. Again, I don't know how old you are or whatever, but like you said, in your culture, that doesn't really matter. So if you want to be free, you might have to break free. And truly trust that fire. And it's one of the hardest things to do if you've been sort of living under a heavy hand. Let's pull another card for you and see what else they want you to know about this. Yeah, we have that showing up with the Two of Cups. Okay, and this definitely, this could represent some type of a partnership, somebody coming in, but really in this type of a reading, I love to feel the you and you-ness of this. This is you relying on you, and this is why they're definitely asking you to take some type of a leap, but it did show up with the Three of Swords, which is definitely speaking of you having some type of fear of letting down your family or letting other people down. And this is you, about you trusting and relying on you. And they're definitely saying that over and over again. But again, come up with a practical plan, which is why it would fall down with make a commitment. You're not going to go and just say, oh, because that's one of the things that I had to actually get under control, because I thought, oh, okay, as soon as I get, because you kind of get taught that as soon as you find spirituality, you're about to just be rich, everything's about to just start going your way, and the universe is just about to start dropping it. And it's not that it's not happening, but it's happening through shedding. It's happening through surrender. It's not just happening in and look, it's all a blessing, but it's not that blessing that we thought, oh, I'll just be able to live on a cloud and say I want that and I want that. There's still some real world work that needs to go into it. And so this is why balancing that spirituality and that practicality and regaining that trust in yourself is what's going to re-spark that fire, okay? But you do have to make a commitment to something here and not worry about who you might hurt. Let me pull one more card as the advice and see what Spirit might want you to know about that. What other information can I provide? And then, do you have an open-ended ticket? Are you... Oh, there you go. There's the answer right there. I mean, because that's your spirit right there. And yeah, and I guess that would, I mean, is there any way to move that up to where it wouldn't cost her too much? When is the 4th anyway? Ooh, that's weeks away. So yeah, there's got to be a way to say, oh, you know what, Professor so-and-so wants me to come back. I need to go back. Yeah. And you know what, that 4, and they said exactly that, control, but even though it's a 4, it's the 4 of Pentacles. It feels like someone has that hold over you. They are bebopping and scatting, okay? But they do want you to stay hopeful, because it did show up with the Star. And we have that showing again with you, kind of trusting that intuition and following. They're really telling you to step out on some type of faith here. And I know it's not going to be that easy, because you are being held to some standard, or you have to do this, or you've always done this. You're going to probably have to kind of kick in the door and be like, no more. I'm going to just go do this instead. And maybe it's not Qatar. Maybe, and honestly, it sounds like if you have, it would be a lot the same with your family there too, Well, let's see. I mean, there's no way to say there's no way that you're not being guided to go back. It's screaming at you right now because you've said several times here in this chat that you want to go back. So you're definitely being guided to go back. But that fear of, or even that statement where you said, well, the trip is booked till the 4th, and I feel kind of forced to stay there. Is there anything that you could say? Because you don't really have to lie, but I get not being able to just go in there and be like, look. I get you don't want to have to go 0 to 60 because, again, this is your culture and you have to find the best route. But is there any way that you could just be like, hey, I would love to go back. I have to start studying for finals or whatever. I can't quite remember exactly if you were in school or anything, but whatever it is, just say you need to go back for some reason because I think it wouldn't cost her anything to move it up. It's far enough away. I'm pretty sure, but I think it's a long time to stay there and be miserable. I have to be honest with you. Oh, okay. Yeah. Oh, please. I forgot though, but that's a little bit different again. It's still, I know you're 25, but it's a little bit different again. It's still a cultural thing where there's this control or being told how to do things or what you should and shouldn't do. But they definitely, the star also represents guidance. It's my favorite. Where is it? It's my favorite one because it represents guidance for me, for sure. It's like you are being guided. You're just worried about the outcome, and I get it. So what I would do is just start seeing secretly, start seeing what it would be. Ask AI or whatever. I don't know what the setup is out there, or if you even have a private computer or phone or whatever. But you'd be like, hey, what would happen if I needed, or what would happen if I needed to move a ticket up, just so that you're well informed, And it definitely shows. She's saying they act like I'm a kid and they underestimate me a lot, but this was exactly the vibe that I grew up in, and it was crazy because I was the one who was doing everything. I was the one who graduated high school. I was the one who had a job, and I was the one who was doing all of these things. I was the one paying all the bills, and yet I was being underestimated or being treated like I wasn't doing enough. And it's like, that definitely causes you to move in a certain way. And honestly, you may very well be, which is why I would say there's going to become a boiling point moment because you are being guided out of it and you can feel that call. Let's see what else they want you to know about this here, because they want you to definitely, you're going to have, you don't have to do anything, and obviously there's a plan. So again, don't just go and just flip the house, but you are being guided. So I would start looking at your options. There's the answer. Thank you for helping me say that the right way. Look at your options. Just go online and say, okay, what would happen if I needed to, so that when you go to her, you're informed, you have the answer, and she can't come at you with, oh, but it's going to cost me. Be like, oh no. Well, maybe it's for you to finally realize where you really want to be, and that's the most frustrating part, because sometimes we think the answer to our question is going to be one thing, but it absolutely is not. And one of the things my son blew me away with yesterday, he told me, he goes, you know what I came to realize, because we've had our ups and downs for sure, and I'm really, really blessed to have him be able to really see and be aware right now at such a young age. So it makes me know that he's going to be all right. And so he was like, whatever you think it's going to be, it's not going to be that. As soon as you think, oh, this is it, because remember I told you I was frustrated about not getting that job. I thought, oh, my prayers have been answered. I'm going to get to travel on their dime. They're going to pay me per diem. I get to be in the trade show world. It's going to be great. It's also going to include long hours. It's also going to include weekends. It's going to be being away from home for weeks at a time sometime. And maybe that's not the route. But I thought, oh, this is how universe is going to be blessing me with this. The universe is like, no. It's better than that. And so if you think this is, you thought, oh, this is about to be, this big, it's not that it wasn't an expansive moment, but this big life-changing moment, it was in that it helped you see clearly what you don't want. So now you can go back with confidence, and now you know exactly what you do want. It's like, okay, no, let me come up with a plan. One of the things the universe rewards is a plan, but it can't be rigid to where you can't hear the changes or you can't move with the changes. You can have that outline and say, okay, I'd love for it to be this way, or I'd love my ideal person to look like this. But the universe knows exactly how you want it to feel. So you have to be a little flexible with that side of it. And I know right now, and I can feel in your energy here that you're feeling a little bit down about this, and even again questioning or doubting what you're receiving. But they're saying reconnect with yourself here. Reconnect with yourself and trust what you're receiving. And you already said many times that you want to go home. And you have one foot here and one foot there. So your options are see what you can do. And also they're saying that this hold that, look, it's very real when you think somebody has a hold on you. I'm not saying it's not, but they're saying it's more like an Eight of Swords hold, okay? It's not something that is real. It's something that's been before, and it's just hard to break that hold. And so it's going to be a little bit uncomfortable. What did I say last time about your identity? Oh, that it was supposed to, yeah, and is it not? I remember that it was supposed to be bringing you some more confidence, but again, it's that exact same thing. It's still these steps into your new identity, but remember, you get to choose. You have to choose. You can't just say like, oh, okay, it's about to be this thing that they're going to splash on me, and I'm now, like I said, now I'm just running this thing. You have to play a very real role in this, and the confusion here is what's keeping you feeling like nothing is moving forward. Trust me, that was frustrating to me when I first started learning about all of this, from The Secret and even Abraham Hicks. I studied her for a long time. In fact, she was one of the staples in turning me on to Neville Goddard and et cetera, Bob Proctor, all those guys. But I was, a little frustrated when it didn't just turn out like they said. Oh, you have to just be positive and everything's just fine and you're going to be fine. Just pretend like it's fine. And all the while I'm getting buried. I'm drowning in this. I'm not only feeling miserable, but financially things are spiraling. And I'm thinking, oh, the universe is just about to drop me with like 50 G's. No, you have to play a role in this. You have to have a plan. You have to move towards something. You have to make, what did it start with? Your 7th house. This is what's active right now. You have to commit to something. And if you know you want to go home, now you only have to decide, okay, I'm going home. Because honestly, Neville Goddard, he told multiple stories about, he was like, in the drafted is one of the big ones. And he was like, no, I'm going home. In like 9 days, he went home. Even after they told him no. So you just have to commit to something. You can say, okay, universe, this is what I want, and start making the steps towards it. But this is going to be an ask for you to definitely trust yourself a little bit more. Tap back into that intuition, because I know you said you were a reader. Well, so that's the thing, and she's saying, what should I do? What do you think I should tell my aunt? First, well, honestly, I don't really know your relationship, so you would have to construct that. But one of the things I will say is go armed with the information. So don't have to have her come at you with anything. You know what I'm saying? Just go there with, okay, this came up. We'll figure out, you'll be inspired to that, but just be like, this came up and I need to go home, and here's the information if I do. It won't cost you anything if I go home by January 15th or whatever, whatever the date is. Oh, 20th. It won't cost you anything if I go home by this date, and I really do need to get back there. If you're in school, tell her something about school. I mean, that's why I say you kind of know your life to where you can construct that story, but most importantly, you want to go home. So see what the options are and say, okay, if I stay here, now you might have a harder time convincing her if it costs money for her to change the ticket. And if there's some way around that, then like I said, maybe you can just go ahead and pay for the change since you want to go home. It really depends on how committed you are to going home. I remember I lived in Chino Hills, and this is in California. So I lived in Chino Hills, but I wanted to go home, and I was in Diamond Bar, and that's probably it's at least 15 miles. And I said, I want to go home. And they were just like, oh, we'll take you home. And I walked all the way home because I said, I'm committed to going home, and I don't care what I have to do to get there. Okay. And so I said that to say, make that commitment to that thing. She was the one to book till the 4th. The job interview is good. The job interview is good, actually. The job interview works. And it is what it is. If you don't mention it again, maybe you just didn't get it, That's actually a really good idea. If you think that'll work, go for it. But most importantly, make sure that you have, because she's going to throw some daggers at you. Oh, it's going to cost me this. And oh, I thought we would do that. I got this job interview. I really got to I really got to get to it. It's a great opportunity. If that's going to work for you, go for it. But make sure when she has it's going to cost me money, just be like, oh no, if I go within the next day or so, it won't cost you a thing. I already did the research type shit, right? Oh no, but so-and-so, I can't change this ticket. Oh, I looked at the website and it says right here. That's why I say that's what you want to do in terms of getting armed with the information, so that when she starts throwing those things at you as to why she can't change the ticket, be like, oh no, I looked it up. It's right here. In fact, all you have to do is hit submit because I already have all the information here for you. Yeah, it's several weeks away. And so, like I said, do you see yourself wanting to be unhappy for the next several weeks? Or at the very least, like I say, maybe don't even try to worry about the whole picture yet and just focus on what information you can get in terms of changing a ticket from your location, that is that far away. Like say you needed to change your ticket, just get that information, and that might lead you to the other inspiration on what the next steps will be. I mean, we joke here and again, I'm never telling you anything that you need to do because your dynamic of living and things like that. So I don't want to cause any type of issue, but they are telling you to trust yourself here with this two of cups. So the work here is to commit to, I'm going home, and go ahead and walk that 15 miles. I literally, as soon as I got home, I drank a pitcher of iced tea and I cried because it was rough, but I got home. So when you mean something, and that's even the same thing about faith, if you think about it, if you believe it, then that's it. It doesn't matter how it looks. This is how it is. And I know that's really rough, especially feeling forced to do something. That is so totally crazy and so very unacceptable. But again, in certain cultures, this is how it's been. And so there's during an awakening, because the awakening has nothing to do with cultures. We're all the same. So, excuse me, everybody's spirit is waking up. And so what's happening, is we're being called to more. And so the old dynamic, we don't fit that anymore. But some of the old structures are being torn down for that reason, and that just has to happen. And again, I'm not political. I don't watch the news. If I wanted to know, I'd find it. But I bless everybody, and I always believe in a higher power. I know that spirit has us, and I know that there's a plan, and I know that I'm, like Chelsea Hansen said on her interview and in her song, I'm here for the ride. So I'm just going to just enjoy that. Yeah, I mean, and so that's a lot of the times she's saying that even if they're trying to help you, that they can't choose how you should live. And that is the point. Now, you're going to get tired of having to be this or that. And so that's the one thing I know. I mean, I kind of adopted that many years ago, but that's the one thing I know is unacceptable is if I have to lie to kick it, if I have to be this person to hang out, or do this to get your help, no thank you. I'm good. Because what I can't do is continue to be that person. This is why I say, you have to look and say, am I going to be fine for the next 3 weeks having to pretend like I'm okay being here when I really don't want to be? And this is where that unapologetic energy comes in. Now, if you think it's going to cause you some type of, again, I'm definitely not being disrespectful anyway because I don't know the culture, but something more extreme, then she's going to be a little pissed. Evaluate your situation. But you're 25 years old. It's time for you. You're feeling that call. It's a very real thing. And so the goal is to take the steps to say, okay, what do I want to do? How am I going to get to it? That's it. And only the first few steps. Just start taking the steps. And like I say, even in doing the research and changing the ticket, those are those first steps that are going to get you to the inspiration, to the next steps to actually tell you what you're going to do in that moment. Because ultimately, it's in the moment when you're going to decide how you're going to handle it, when you're ready to. You're just going to say, you know what? I'm done. Hey, I want to go home. Sometimes it's as easy as saying that, but it really depends on your situation. Yeah. If you're not okay with it, then that's it, because it is several weeks away, and you're going to spend a lot of time being. But you know what? When as I look at this, we do have the Knight of Pentacles. So, like I said, figure out your strategy out, or take the appropriate steps and be like, okay, like you said, the job interview. Okay, let me get all my ducks in a row before you move, because he does move, but he's that one who observes and says, okay, how should I move? So evaluate the situation, get all that information, get ready to bat her back with the whole whatever her little rebuttals are, and pack your bags. But you can also just ask your angels, talk to them, and say, how's the best way to handle this, and see what you receive. Because like I said, this is what you're getting from me, and I don't know your full story, but you are intuitive. So if they're saying, hey, you want to go home, you don't want to be here, then spending 3 weeks there is not going to be acceptable. Well, I mean, maybe look for one if you want to go back home. Is it that that's why I say, is it that you don't want to be there? I want to land a job to leave. Okay, well, see, now you're putting a stipulation on it that could very well be like an excuse to not have to face it. And I'm very surprised that the Two of Swords didn't show up, because, yeah, I mean, look, yes, it would be great, but you could at least land the job interview if you want to just be honest. And I think that's probably what it is that you're an honest person, so you would feel like lying if you said you had it and you didn't. I can pick that energy up from you for sure. But you don't necessarily have to land the job. You could land the job interview, and that would actually, I mean, if that would help you justify doing that, you could certainly do that. Let's see. I'm going to pull one more. Oh. That's a little bit, there's too many, but I will see what did show up, because the Star did show up again. So did the Lovers. We have that conflict showing up with the Five of Wands, but we do have the Queen of Cups coming in. And this is all that inspiration that we were just talking about you realigning with yourself, especially with the Lover's energy showing up and what you really want. Yeah, I mean, look, there's no way that anybody could live. And then the Knight of Pentacles still showed up at the bottom of the deck there. There's no way that anybody who's saying these words is going to be able to handle it for the next 3 weeks, for sure. Yeah, there's that High Priestess. I mean, really, they're really saying, especially showing up with the Six of Pentacles, which is all about ebbing and flowing and also receiving, along with the Hierophant. You're gonna have to face it and say, hey, this is what's going on. If you think that there's a situation where, like I said, you are lying, so you don't want to feel like a liar, then start looking for a job in a little something. Even who cares what it is? I mean, whatever they have out there. But that'll start making you feel like you're actually doing that, so you're not lying. And that could be, and again, Spirit has mysterious ways, that could be literally your opening to whatever the job is that you're looking for. Because here you are being already pushed to look for a job. Maybe that is the answer. Maybe that'll be, and again, that's why I stopped resisting working or looking for a job. It does have to be something that I don't want to kill myself at every single day, or don't have to literally physically, do to do it. But maybe that's where I'm being guided to meet whoever this person is that I'm supposed to meet, or whoever these people are, or even just to regain that balance, which does come in with the Six of Pentacles as well. But anyways, I love you, Heba. I'm always here for you. Let's keep this story going. Let's see what we can do to clear up the energy. But I would say your only work right now is going to be make a commitment to something. Decide this is what's going to happen, and start taking small steps to it, okay? And you do have a lot of time to work this out, but also, if you can cause the less damage to your aunt in terms of her not having to pay, or her even being able to use that as a crutch, because sometimes that could be a deal breaker for some people, do it as soon as you can. At least get the information so that you can talk to them, and Spirit does work in mysterious ways. That's why I say there's a whole line of things that are lining up to get you to where you asked to go. One of the things Bob Proctor would always say is whatever must happen will happen to get you there. And so accept that and sort of take it as it comes. But one of the worst things that you could do for yourself and for your own spirit is to sit there for the next 3 weeks stewing about it to save face. And that's the truth. Again, if it's going to cause you any extreme upset, then make sure you have a plan. But if you're just going to do it so you don't piss somebody off, or they're going to not, at the barbecue, they're not going to talk to you, fine. I don't really care. My peace is important. And I'm not going to spend the next 3 weeks stewing about this. Okay? So, I love you. Thank you guys, everybody, so much for watching. Make sure that you guys check out Black Market Carnage. That was so much fun. I love that interview. I love that guy. And all the information in the description if you're looking to book a reading. Follow me on all the socials. I'm starting a pretty cool little Facebook group called the Elevated Circle Las Vegas. And I'll be holding in-person events, but also it's going to be kind of exclusive. So if you guys just want to go ahead and join the Facebook group, you guys definitely can do that. Oh, you're still on here? That's so cool. That's so cool, David. Thank you. You guys, I appreciate you so much. And Yeah, everything's in the description. And yeah, thank you guys again for joining me, and I will see you guys next week, Sunday, 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. I love you guys so much, and I appreciate you. And I'm sending everybody big hugs and loves and kisses. And yeah, I am Mika, the Traveling Tarot. I love you. Take care of each other, okay? Peace.